Hello everybody and welcome to Letterboxd Book Club. My name is Claire.
And I'm Mackenzie.
And today we'll be discussing Crossed by Emily McIntire. I wasn't sure I was going to say McIntire. I've been thinking about it all week. I'm like, alright, I got to figure out how to say it so Kenzie doesn't yell at me.
Well, here we are again with another dark retelling of a fairy tale classic.
How enthusiastic you sound.
Claire, would you like to take us away with the
content warning? Because if Emily's consistent, it is with these. It's responsible these days, but I don't know. At this point, you know what you're reading in terms of dark fantasy. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, except for that, like, after I should see the cover at a bookstore.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, fair enough. Alrighty, Crossed content warning. Graphic sexual scenes, gore and graphic violence, graphic torture, religious trauma, murder, rape, not between MCs, most detailed scene in end of chapter 46, but mentions throughout, sexual assault, not between MCs, stalking, drug abuse, bullying of a child on the spectrum, child abuse, and self-harm. What, Kenzie? What do you find?
The description of bullying of a child on the spectrum. Like, yeah.
I get it. Fair enough. You have thoughts, but you don't want to cancel yourself, I guess.
No, it's just like...
If you're going to bully a child, your child's going to get...
child being bullied, yeah. You don't have to specify that they're on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, whatever. Yeah, cool. Alright, Kenzie, kick us off with the blurb or Goodreads description. You really don't want to do this, do you?
From best-selling author Emily McIntire comes the dark and delicious fractured fairy tale reimagining of the Hunchback of Notre Dame. He is righteous, she is sin. Father Cade Frédéric is a holy man. Brought up in the streets of Paris, he has dedicated his life to the church. But there's a monster that lingers just beneath the surface, a sickness, one that bleeds darkness and feeds on the damned. When he's tasked to become the priest in Festivalé, Vermont, a town both beautiful in architecture and riddled with despair, his sickness sings, demanding he rid the place of evil. Amaya Paquette is Festival's beautiful mystery. She spends her days caring for her younger brother and her nights transforming into Esmeralda, dancing for greedy eyes and shameless lips. Although she longs for love, she shies away from companionship, afraid of being abandoned again. When Father Cade lays eyes on Amaya, he finds himself instead convinced she's using witchcraft to lure him to her. He can't eat, can't breathe, can't think unless it's of her, and temptation is a devastating mistress. She is his weakness, so he decides he'll be her demise, even if it means killing the only woman he might ever love.
Thoughts, feelings, and emotions, Kenzie. Go.
I hated this book so much more than any other hatred of any other book. Like, I would gladly read Good Girl Complex 1,000,000 times over than read this book ever again in my life.
Lovely. Been waiting for this.
How does this shit get published?
Because she's had 4 other relatively successful books.
She has. Good on her.
And it's a good, I guess, niche as well.
It is a niche. I will agree with that. But, like...
What?
Is that a ghost fish? Sorry. Can you see that white thing? It's like floating around.
No. Maybe it's the reflection. Whereabouts?
Just like right in front.
Oh, just like here.
Yeah.
It's a bit of, I don't know, debris.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I don't know. I think it's from the bush, the little tree.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I'm keeping this in.
It's like a ghost fish. Anyway, okay, so I want to know, because Claire has politely informed me that she DNF'd, which fair, because this was a struggle. What point did you DNF at? Okay.
All right, leading into my thoughts, feelings, emotions, I guess, as well. Yeah, I DNF'd. Okay, so I got to the point where I think Amaya left the police station because she's a suspect for killing old man Andrew. And then she has that tiff about, do I go see Father Cade or whatever, because they have that relationship where she just rocks up and she's like, I'm not supposed to be here. Oh, I hated that anyway. So she goes over and, he's like, what's wrong? And she's like, I can't tell you. And then he's like, all right. Then he fingers her. And then... ironically, he, in his post-nut clarity, he's like, you've bewitched me, blah, blah, blah. You are like your mother, whom he doesn't really know. And you're a witch, you're no worse than a whore. And then kicks her out.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm like, you cannot convince me these two fall in love. In the next, half of the book, you cannot convince me. And then I was like, I hated it. Goodbye.
Okay, cool. All right. Cool.
So tell me what happens.
Oh.
Although, I was very intrigued by how this book was going to like translate from obviously the movie, because that's the reason why these books are the way they are. I was very intrigued by, of course, the religious trauma and how they're going to spin it. I feel like it was always going to be tricky. Hello, a ghost machine. Tricky spinning like Father Cade's character and obviously Amaya / Esmeralda together. Like, it's always going to be such a stretch.
So I think in the end, it wasn't so much love, but I think it was just two souls who recognise each other connecting.
All right.
On an intrinsic level.
Sure. It must be super fucking intrinsic.
So
I feel like Parker dies because he had to die.
Parker dies.
Good.
So you know how they're doing the Festival of the Fools or whatever?
Yes.
And they have to crown a fool.
Yep.
So they go and they watch the play or whatever, and Quentin's not in it. And Amaya's like, what the fuck, where's Quentin? Like, he's meant to be in it. And then at the end, they bring him out to crown him as, like, the fool.
Okay, but he wasn't in it.
Yeah, but, like, it's like, bullying him.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
because in the movie, for Quasimodo, you haven't seen The Hunchback of
Oh,
Notre
yeah, I
Dame.
haven't seen the movie, so, like, I'm lost. But it's fun, it's fun. And then, so Amaya's like, what the fuck? And then she chases after that, like, Florence chick.
Oh, yeah.
And then bashes her head in the bathroom.
Love that.
She doesn't die.
Oh, just a brain injury.
Just a brain injury. It's fine. No, she's like in hospital or whatever. Bashes her head in. And then Father Cade like takes her away to the mountain retreat with the nun.
Okay.
Because he's like, I have to hide you. Like, you can't.
Oh, yeah, because you're a murderer.
Yeah, well, she's survived. It's fine.
Well, you assaulted somebody.
You assaulted someone. Anyway, but then Quentin was taken by her friend.
Oh, what's her name? Oh, I forget.
Dina?
Yeah, something like
Dina,
that.
or whatever. I'm going to call her Dina from now on. Or Dana, or whatever.
Did I write it down? Not that it matters. Dahlia.
Close.
Dahlia.
And so Amaya's like, just go get Quentin, Dahlia, or whatever. And he goes, and Dahlia's been like gutted.
Oh, why?
Yeah. Because you can't take away you can't take Amaya away from Parker. So Parker's done it.
Oh.
And he left his like signet ring or something, or like a cufflink with like P on it.
Okay, so
like,
they figure it out.
Yeah, but then he's still like in the house or whatever, and then Cade kills him.
Oh.
And then buries his body.
Oh.
Anyway, continuing on. The nun
Is her mother.
Oh
my god. She ran away from Parker and abandoned her entire family. That's a pretty funny full circle though.
Sorry, and then she reached forgiveness.
Oh my god.
But it's funny because so Amaya wakes up or whatever at the mountain retreat.
Get over a mountain retreat. All right.
And then like comes face to face with her mother and is like, what the fuck? And then her mother is just like, first she's all like, you know, like I sought forgiveness, like blah blah blah, like God Almighty. But then she's like, oh, do you know Cade? And her mother's like, yeah, like we're like really good friends or whatever. And then Maya's like, okay, well,
is her name Sister Genevieve or something?
Yeah.
Okay, because early on, before Cade was... I don't know, he mentions, like, Sister Genevieve for some reason on his way to Festival or whatever, and I'm like, what's the bet that that's her mother? Because he's, like, the familiar green eyes and dark skin or whatever.
Yeah. When you, like, become a nun, though, you change your name. So, like, it was never going to be like, hey, that's the name of my mother.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank God, I've got a lot of... Pregnancy is beautiful, everyone. Pregnancy is beautiful. Anyway.
You cannot convince me to get pregnant.
I can't convince myself to get pregnant again. Anyway, so then Sister Genevieve, then, because Amaya's like, well, Cade's my friend as well, like, we're in love, blah, blah, blah. And then, so her mother is just like, well, you're still a whore, everyone's special to you, like, essentially, like.
I seek forgiveness, but you're still a slut.
Yeah, so Amaya kills her. Yeah. And like Cade comes back and then like she's just like her body's just like in the kitchen and Amaya's like, yeah, I'm gonna need some help with like, and she's like, sorry if she was your friend, and Cade's just like, no one's more important than you, like.
Oh my god. How fucking cooked.
Yeah, okay. Also, before all this, Parker forced Amaya through sexual assault to sign a marriage certificate.
Oh, love that.
So they're married.
Okay.
So
very Julian, but okay.
Yeah. So in the eyes of the law, she gets all his shit.
Oh,
and all
fun.
his money.
So it all works out.
But they're like, because he's missing, he's dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But they're like, we need a body. So mysteriously, his body shows up.
Oh, okay.
So Cade like unburies it and like.
What the fuck?
And then
excuse me?
they go back to France.
Okay.
Like, it's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, yeah, so they linked it all. They end up, like, so Cade goes and visits Florence in the hospital, and then he's like, do you remember anything? And then she's like, Amaya, and he's like, you're wrong. He's like, listen here, Parker liked to keep tapes, and you are on a lot of them. Also, does your husband know that his son is not his son? Yeah, and so he's like, listen here, if you don't want this shit to get out, this is what you're going to do.
Extreme extortion and blackmail. I love it.
Hundo. So then, with the help of Florence, they, like, come up with this, like, narrative that Parker was, like, obsessed with Amaya, which, like, he was anyway.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
And, like, he was stalking her, and, like, so he was the one who, like, killed Andrew, and also it helped that he frequented the woman that Cade killed at the very start, like, Dahlia's cousin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, was it cousin? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't reveal
it was
that
Dahlia's
point.
cousin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, maybe it was. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I thought that was going to be her mum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at the start.
How ironic she calls, Amaya the whore, and yet she's the one working the pole in the streets. Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, so it was all nicely in a bow. And then they're in France, and because they're, like, super rich now, like, Quentin's in, like, special school and stuff. But then they have nights where they go and, like, release their monster.
Oh, my God. I was just going to say, just after, Amaya killed her mum, they're going to have that, kindred spirit of, like, she has a monster as well.
Yeah, it's implied. And then they're out, like,
God.
I don't know, in the forest, because they live, like, out in the forest because they love the forest. And, like, she's, like,
Solitude.
covered in blood, so, like, implying that, like, she's just killed someone or whatever, and he's like, I'm gonna fuck you right now. And she's like, I'm covered in blood, Cade, and he's like, I'm gonna fuck you. Like,
I got the biggest boner right now.
Yeah. He's like, my dick is raging for it.
Oh my God.
So
I'm so glad you finished this book, Kenzie. It was glorious.
I was at the end, I was like,
just grossed
I
out.
felt dirty. Like, I can forgive murder. We've been over this.
Yeah, but
this is a fucking whole other level.
While having the blood of your victim on you is a step too far.
Well, I don't know. It's just like a whole new level, you know?
Yeah. It's dark fantasy for you.
It is dark fantasy, but okay, let's talk about my qualms.
Okay.
All right, so the whole book.
Just present it.
No, first of all, the religious trauma of it all is fine. I love religious trauma. It's a big thing. Love it. Anyway, there's the whipping, the self-flagellation. I think that's the word. Let's not turn that into entertainment. Like,
Sure.
It's a big thing. People do it. It's like, it's self-harming. So you're actively
true.
writing about self-harm or whatever.
Was that a part of the content warning?
I don't think that was.
No. Oh, yeah, it's self-harm at the end.
Oh, fuck.
Damn.
Oh my God, I don't care. Sorry.
Jesus Christ, who is harassing you right now?
I'll tell you afterwards.
So much rage.
So
Just the
much
build
rage
up.
burning through my blood.
Don't let it use up all your iron, though.
No, my stores are building up. It's alright, we're not there. When they get released, you'll know. I'm ready to fight.
Feel like a man. I want to go to war.
I want to see some dick. I'm good.
I wouldn't go that far.
Never want to see a dick again in my life. Don't come near me.
Alright, yeah, self-flagellation.
Self-flagellation, self-harm, religious trauma. Okay, also, the sensitive topic. Sexual assault.
Yep.
We know it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it needs to be used as a
Tool.
narrative plot.
Yeah.
Narrative tool, if you will.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But that's what makes dark fantasy is all these, like, tabooist type,
And I understand that.
topics.
But I also understand that, like, this is not a Kindle Unlimited book, you know?
No.
There are kids in Big W where this is sold for, like, $8.
See a pretty cover.
They see a pretty cover and they see, like, fairy tale retelling or, like, dark retelling, and it's like, okay, cool. But it's like, I pick up something that says, like, dark retelling. Like, I'm not automatically going to, like, murder and drugs or whatever. I'm thinking just, like, oh, it's going to be, like, a bit dark. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the whole, like, I understand, like, writing about, like, your own experiences or whatever. And so, like, I have compassion if this is, like, Emily McIntire drawing from her own life. However, that's just what I feel. Like,
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, I feel that.
Or, like, I could respect that it had been, like, hinted at that, like, that's how Amaya lost her virginity or whatever,
Yeah.
blah, 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 which is a social construct anyway. But,
Just.
but then, yeah, I don't think
everything.
it needed to be explicitly, like, for the marriage certificate signing and stuff, like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, she could have just recalled and be like, I was coerced into doing this. Like, I don't want to talk about it or whatever. But yeah, sexual assault and rape is always just a big topic of conversation just in society. And especially, you know, happening to a lot of women and all the discourse around, well, is she lying or is she just trying to get fame and all that type of stuff and money?
Yeah,
but,
and especially because, like, you know, Emily McIntyre's making a profit off these books. It's like...
Yeah, a bit queasy.
Yeah. But I can think of murder, that's fine.
Yeah, murder, drugs, or like... Yeah, I was just thinking, like, the morality scale of it all, or the morality spectrum is a bit off. Because, like, yeah, you get Father Cade. He has this little monster demon in him, and he wants to murder sex workers because they're sinning. Fine. Yeah. But then he's nice to the autistic boy. Yeah. It's like...
And also, like, his book, it just felt so different to the other ones. Like, the other ones were, like, like, dark and, like, drugs and murder and guns and stuff. And...
Just got a cramp.
No,
Please do not go into labour right now.
My foot's sticking out of my stomach.
I see, like, videos of, like, you know, like, little handprints or feet and stuff like that. Shit freaks me out.
Yeah, I just push it back in.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ow. Anyway, sorry, continuing. Yeah, so that was
She's
like,
feeling your age.
Dark. They do feel your emotions. Dark and guns and drugs and stuff and fun. But, like, in a suspended disbelief sort of way. Yeah. This one felt, like, very, like...
Could be real,
grounded in, like, what it's trying to tell you and stuff. And I was just thinking about back to Twisted. Is that the Wizard of Oz one?
No, Wretched.
Where the dude, whatever his name was.
Oh, yeah, I forget now.
He's like, yeah, because he's undercover and he's a cop or whatever. And, like, he
Bradley
goes,
or something?
Yeah, he
Brandon.
goes dark or whatever. But he only kills to protect...
Evelyn,
yeah. Evie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he only kills to protect Evie. He's not just out there murdering for fun.
Yeah, no.
And even all the other ones, like Hooked.
I don't think he wanted to kill Wendy. He just wanted to, like, fuck her up just because of
and he's
Peter.
not just... Like, he's killing people, but he's killing people who have wronged him and stuff. And, like...
It's, like, a more clear justification.
Almost. Yeah. It's like, I'm not just going out, like, killing people because, like, of his own personal bias towards sex workers. Also, it would have made more sense if, like... I don't know, like 50 Shades of Grey style, how Christian's mother, like, pimped herself out or whatever. Okay. And so that's why he, like, went for a certain look of women, because he's like, you remind me of my prostitute mother. Whereas this one, like, Cade's just like, oh, you're a sinner, like... And
he was just abused as a kid and that...
Yeah, and it's like, okay, but, like...
A bit of a stretch to go to therapy.
Yeah.
God is his therapy.
Yeah, and it's always like, God is, like, telling him, like, you have to, like... rid.
Yeah, the world of sinners.
Yeah, and it's like, if you ridding the world of sinners then makes you have to, like, harm yourself. Yeah. Which I think is a sin in itself.
Yeah, well, I think the harming is just him, having the, like, sexual thoughts and stuff of Amaya and Esmeralda, but, like...
But after he killed the woman in, like, the very first chapter, he, like, went...
Oh, I thought it was more because, I thought it was just because he went to the chapel and then he was like, I want to fuck Esmeralda, but then he's like, I cannot do that to myself.
Before.
Yeah, I don't know, and I found it really just gross when he was, like, killing that sex worker and even thinking about killing, like, Esmeralda, I keep saying Esmeralda, Amaya, and, like, there was a description where she was so close to him and he could just, like, wrap his fingers around, and it's all about how, like, hard his cock is getting just thinking about it. I'm like, that is gross. That is, like, teetering on necrophilia. See, that's dark fantasy.
Also, another qualm I have with the book is just the whole story in itself. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like,
it's like...
The fact that the entire town hates Amaya because her mother was like, you're a whore. Yeah. And is now like, and, like, you steal men, like, because of witchcraft. And it's like...
I know, it's a bit of a reach.
Like, you saw Parker one time get, like, a little bit too handsy or whatever while he was giving her a birthday gift. Yeah. And, like, instead of immediately being like, Parker, don't touch my teenage daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, to your teenage daughter, you're a whore.
I suppose there are real narcissistic mothers out there.
Oh, and I'm sure, there are lots of mothers out there like that. But then suddenly the whole town is like, you're a witch. Yeah. All of our bad omens and bad luck is because of you. It's like, make it make sense.
Yeah, that was one of my big qualms as well. It's like, I just found it so hard that everyone hated her for no reason and just by her mother's word. And it's like, does her mother really have that much influence on the town? Yeah. But I suppose they're just looking for someone to blame. But yeah, I don't know. It's gross. And I just hated how, like, the life just doesn't seem so great for Amaya, but she's doing it to provide for Quentin and stuff. Yeah. Because, like, you know, she's, like, sex working, well, not sex, pole dancing and, like, getting funky with clients or giving them dances. And, like, Andrew's being all handsy and then, you know, Parker's being handsy out in the real world. And then Father Cade's first interaction is he grabs her as if she was like some sort of like common whore that he can take whatever he wants. And I'm thinking like, how does that... It's just such a sad life, and I didn't like reading that though.
And then just like, because Parker just seems like this omnipresent overlord.
Yeah. He's that.
And then as soon as she's like, okay, I'll marry you, he's like, okay. And it's like make her work for it. Like,
yeah, I suppose
you've been depicted as this fucking asshole this whole time. And then suddenly, like, as soon as she's like, yeah, like, you're a fucking gross piece of shit, man. But like, as soon as she's like, I'll marry you, he's like, okay, here's this, like, here's my town car for whatever you need.
Yeah, here's
like
my
a whole
lawyer.
new wardrobe. Yeah, here's my lawyer. Here's all this access to this money. Move into my penthouse. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it seems so great. It's like,
I was like, fuck, I'd pretend for $1. Like,
$50 is $50.
And then you just kill him. It's fine.
Yeah,
I thought she would be the one to kill him.
It would have been probably a good that would it'd be a good like circle back, considering he took her innocence, he like is the reason why her mother and her relationships are broken, and like it would have been a good probably full circle, I reckon, if she did that. But then just the whole now learning that she had her own little monster, and it's like, bro, it was always going to be hard because you don't know the story of Hunchback of Notre Dame. Well, obviously. You are deformed. you are ugly. The soundtrack is fucking fire, and the songs are great.
And that one,
more religious.
The one that Esmeralda sings.
Yeah, God Help the Outcasts. Yeah, banging, popping.
Bang it.
And it took me a while to realise that Parker was meant to be Phoebus, and that's the name I was looking for.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, cool.
If they remake it, I'll watch it.
I don't, in this economy, in this society, I don't think they'll remake it.
I thought there were plans to.
Perhaps. I don't know. But there's a lot of religious like symbolism and like repression, even from like Frollo. I think his name's Claudius Frollo or something. I don't know. But he's also
Frollo. Cade Frédéric.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then he is also infatuated by Esmeralda in the most like innocently sexual way you can depict in an animation. Yeah, like he has a scarf that she gave him while she was like dancing, because she's like a gypsy and dancing, traveling, all that type of stuff, and he is bewitched by her as well.
Yeah. There's a scene where Amaya is pleasuring herself and Cade's there and he's like, don't let me fuck you, but he has a scarf.
Oh, okay, yeah, like, there we go.
Putting it over her body.
There you go. Yeah,
she comes from it.
There's the connection.
I was like, what is this scarf? That's the scarf he like uses to like strangle people.
Oh really? Oh, gee. Alright. I think he's just trying to cleanse the scarf from murder to sex. But yeah, I was wondering how it was going to translate, and then I didn't really think like a murder investigation was going to be like a significant like plot point out of all this. And then the Festival of Fools, I was going to be excited because that's the main part of the animation, because in the first act, I guess, Quasimodo sneaks out of his church and people think he's wearing a mask when it's actually his face. Then he's crowned the Festival of Fools, and then Frollo finds him, or he's the judge actually. And in the animation, Frollo is the he is the embodiment of like power, and like he is the judge, jury, and execution essentially, despite being like a church priest. Back in the day, yeah, bring out the guillotine.
Let's bring back the guillotine. Honestly, I want to see heads roll.
That is gross thought.
Saves my taxpayers' dollars. Housing prisoners.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's raining.
It is.
Did you know? Actually, I was going to bring this up. This is so unrelated, but I saw an article in the New York Times that like, and I blew my mind. You know when it says like, there's a 50% chance of rain. Yeah, did you know that it doesn't mean that there's a 50% chance of rain? It means that 50% of the land will get rain. Yeah, wow, that's so stupid. They could have worded it better for us to understand it. Yeah. Maybe humans are just truly dumb. Yeah, what does mine actually say in my app when it says rain? Oh, it just says like millimeters of rain. Oh, okay, not like a percentage chance. No, but it's meant to rain for the rest of the day. Oh, fun. Love that for us. Love that for me, because that means Luke gets sent home. Alrighty, so we could probably discuss, Amaya's like home life and stuff. Yeah, what the fuck? She's so fucked up. Like, I would have just abandoned everybody. I would have been like, fuck you all, I would have just abandoned Quentin. Like, sorry, I would have just like run away, become a stripper, and been like... Make your bucks. Make my bucks, yeah. Oh, how silly is it that she has to pay back her mum's debt to Parker? Yeah. I think that was just like...
think that was a bit too bizarre. Because one, I don't think you could actually, it's not legally binding, I would assume.
Also,
but the fact that he had all the power in society and he could have just crushed her.
Yeah, it's like, just leave, run away.
Yeah.
Like,
just go to that mountain range. You would have saved yourself 300 pages.
And still been able to kill your mum. Also,
win-win.
When she was like, I'll marry you, everything just like disappeared. He's like, okay, like there goes your dad, like blah blah blah. But also, why couldn't you have just gone in with the like, I'll fuck you?
Right. Like what do I need to do to clear this debt without having to tie myself to you legally and marriagically? That's not a word.
Because I feel like up till that point, like it wasn't even like a thing that he was holding over her. Like, you know, it would have made more sense if he'd mentioned like earlier, like, oh, you know, if you just agree to marry me, it all goes away or whatever. Like if he'd said that earlier in the plot. But he hadn't, and then she's like, I will marry you. And I was like, where is this coming from? Like, surely there are other ways he can help you with his lawyer.
I feel like early on there was moments where like she either said like, or he did offer to ask her to marry him just out of like necessity, and she's just been like declining and refusing just to defy him. But also like that makes sense because she doesn't fucking like him.
Yeah.
And but like I suppose it's nice seeing the rep of having an autistic child and like how they behave in the world and all that type of stuff, but in a dark fantasy I feel like it's probably a little bit maybe inappropriate because you always wonder, all right, something is going to happen to this kid, and because as we know like, you know, kids just bully for the sake of bullying, and you're already depicting that in this book, like something obviously bad's going to happen, like using as a tool to humiliate
and then because I don't know about the original movie, but like obviously he's ugly. I was like, is he meant to be a representation of like someone on the spectrum? And then also like, if you're saying that, then you're saying that like everyone on the spectrum is Quasimodo, like
yeah. No, I think he was just more perhaps physically hindered, I suppose, and just like it's just his face.
Also,
and just people are super harsh and judgmental anyway of anyone that's seemingly different. So,
Dahlia's deal of like, she lives in the apartment for free because she watches him at night or whatever while Amaya goes off and dance. It's like, okay, cool deal, but like contribute to that.
It's like they know she knows she's struggling.
Yeah.
What does Dahlia also strip or work the pole?
But she got into a car accident and so her legs.
I think that was seemingly mentioned. I probably skimmed over it.
Yeah, either they don't work or they're like, she's in physical therapy.
Okay. Get that disability pension,
yeah, that's
bro.
what I was thinking. I was like, you'd be getting something. Like, it's like, contribute. Like, sure, just looking after him at night, like, isn't a lot. And it's like, I'm assuming a strip club doesn't go by standard business hours.
No.
Assuming most of the night, like, Quentin's in bed and you're asleep, like, you're just there. I was like,
How old is Quentin again in this book?
6 or something.
I mean, you still can't leave a 6-year-old alone at night, despite...
No, but, like, you live here for free for, like, the 2 hours that you watch Quentin.
Because he's asleep. Yeah, fun. I don't know, bro. When the semantics of it all.
Yeah, just nitpick. I can nitpick it all away.
Good. Yeah, so she's on the pole for her job, and Parker isn't supposed to know about it, but then he eventually finds out.
Yeah.
How does he think she makes her money though?
Because she has that other job.
Oh, which job?
That I forget. She works in an office or something. Or like she does data entry.
From
home.
Where did I miss this?
Yeah, I think she does data entry from home.
Must be nice.
Yeah, because she's saying that's why she like wears the wig and stuff, because
everything
that she makes in like a data entry goes to Parker.
Yeah.
And then everything left over is like
just for her to live and survive, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose it does highlight a certain struggle of doing whatever it takes to survive, and like if you need to work the nightlife, then you shall do that without.
And she said she had to like work extra because she had to like pay the internet or whatever.
Yeah. And then, I think she was a little light in the interaction.
Yeah, $100.
Yeah, like $100 bucks. Like, come on.
Like, don't let it happen again.
Yeah. Or what, asshole?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And then that's where she encounters Father Cade for the first time at the chapel.
Yes.
And he just like grabs her like a fucking grubby patron, which I didn't appreciate. And in that moment, she's like, I want this guy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, you want a level of believability.
Yeah.
And it was a real stretch.
And I'm pretty sure Catholic priests are allowed to marry now. Yeah.
I'm not all up in the whole like what priests can and cannot do.
There are
there are
certain denominations that can't.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Catholic priests are allowed to marry, so like it shouldn't have even been an issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just that she was a whore.
You want to fuck the sinner, which makes you a sinner.
Yeah.
But, like, isn't murdering in itself a sin? Just no matter what, or whoever you're murdering.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just a big contradiction, hypocrisy.
Yeah. That's why you whip. Gotta repent. Should have done some Hail Marys. Hail Mary full of grace. With some rosary beads, baby.
Yeah. Love that. It reminds me, I watched the TV show called The Great.
Oh,
and it's like it's a comedy, but like very like vulgar. Sorry?
It comes up on my TikTok.
Oh really? Yeah. And there's this I forget what his name, the priest guy. Oh, Archie. Well, he's the archbishop, but they call him Archie.
Oh, lol.
And like he's like severely sexually repressed, and he whips himself. But it's just funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up some sins.
Some sins. All right. Extorting a lady in hospital. Yeah. Probably a sin. I mean, yeah, you went to did you go to a religious school?
I went to Catholic school, baby.
Catholic school, yeah.
We weren't taught to repent, though. When pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth.
It's just like the 7 deadly sins, yeah. And then, like, it branches off into more significant things.
Let me just do some research.
Opening up a whole can of worms. Yeah, I just love, like, the idea of religious, like, not trauma, but, yeah, repression or stuff like that. Like, they fight with themselves, but it's like, bro, the book's not real. Relax.
Ooh, each of these can be overcome with 7 heavenly virtues.
Oh?
Humility, charity, gratitude, temperance, patience, and diligence.
Nah, 7 deadly sins are cooler.
Lust could result in adultery, which is a mortal sin.
Oh, wow.
Or could lead to less intentional immoral thoughts.
That's exactly Father Cade.
How does one repent?
We're really getting to the bottom of this. We are going to help Father Cade. Yeah, definitely don't read this book if you're, like, religious at all, or have, like, or you're really into it, but, like, if you're able to laugh at it and be able to see the lighter side or the darker side, or just see how ridiculous, like, some actual people practicing might come across.
It just reminded me of the Da Vinci Code. That's all I remember from the Da Vinci Code.
I love your sound effects. Careful, we've got a voice artist over here.
Get me to graphic audios. I'll be the whip. That'll be my credit.
She is hired. Like, if anyone's hiring, contact us.
I'm really good at whips. Inanimate objects.
Give us some more, like...
What else can I be? I'll be the soap dispenser going to Florence's head. Pachow! Pachow! I'll be the pole.
It's a very creaky pole. No, I'll be the pole.
I'll be the scarf.
It was more of a wind, but like, that's good.
I can also do dead bodies.
Could you do, like, being strangled? Beautiful. Your resume is popping. It is all your sound bites you'll ever need.
Hang on, I'll be people in the crowd. Whore!
Bewitched!
Witchcraft! Oh, fucking hell.
Loves the turn that took. Alright, there's Kenzie's sound bites. I'll be sure to compile and I'll be sending them out to all the voiceover artists.
Okay, let's go to the stars. I can't talk about this book anymore.
This is going to be a short book.
It's 45 minutes.
Oh, baby. Also, I found similarities between this and Scarred, because Tristan has his My Little Liar, and then Cade has My Little Sinner, also in French.
But also, like, Tristan is a hot piece. This is my thing. Tristan was a bad guy, but he was doing it to save his people.
Yeah.
This guy's saving his penis.
People penis. And then, it just reminded me of Julian in the sense, like, he wants to kill Amaya initially because of being a sinner, being a pole dancer. And then, Julian wanting to kill Jasmine just for fortune. Yeah. And it just got too blurred too easily. All right, to the stars that listen, we like to end the podcast with a 1-star review and a 5-star review from Goodreads
just
for shits and giggles.
Positive note.
And we start with the 5-star to end on a positive note, but I have a couple of 1-stars because, like, these reviews really encapsulate how we feel.
Yeah.
All right, and this is going to be a short one, but, like, what more can we say? All right, I can do my 1-star review first.
Sure.
I have 2 because they're all good.
Oh.
Alrighty, this person says, things I learned. I hate priest books. If I hear words solar plexus anytime soon, I will rage. This was atrocious. Only reason I didn't DNF is because I wanted another book to add to my yearly tally. No shame. I mean, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, good on you for the grind. And then this one's a paragraph, but also a 1-star. This was really hard work to read. With the copious amount of inner monologue and religious waffle, I struggled to get into this at all. I don't mind an insta-love/obsession type if you see the characters actually spend time together and build up their relationship after. Yeah. But that really didn't happen in Crossed. Aside from Parker getting what he deserved, I'm not sure I really enjoyed any of the story, to be honest. Fair enough.
Alright, I got an arc from Book Up, and this isn't the worst. And if this isn't the worst book I've read all year. I have so many issues with this book, from the stupid reasoning for it all to weirdly constructed sentences, which I'm being a bit more lenient with since it is an arc and maybe it was missing a round of editing. Both the main characters are the worst. They are supposed to be morally grey. Whatever they are a real torture to be inside their heads. I hated the plot, the characters, the romance, the use of Catholic themes without proper research. I'm not religious, but this was so badly done.
Fair enough.
That was my only one.
Okay, cool. Alright, my first 5-star review is, it just says Cade, and then the emoji is like a red face sweating, yeah. Like he's hot or whatever. Yeah. And then my next 5-star review is Hunchback of Notre Dame, but spicy, and then, hot, red face, sweaty emoji. Emily does the best retellings around. Dark, steamy, smutty, perfect.
Mine was bend me over, smack my ass, and call me a believer. Woo, that was hot as fuck. Daddy Cade is right there with Daddy Julian on the spice rating.
No.
Also, like...
how was the spice?
Yeah, no, nothing, really. But also because I feel like there wasn't a really big, like, character description of Cade. So, like, I just didn't picture him as an attractive person.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, considering who, like, Frollo is... Frollo is, like, 70 in fucking Hunchback. Hang on. I'll show Kenzie a photo. Like, he's
I'm familiar with what the characters look like.
Yeah. He's fucking old, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how do you turn that into... I think in this book he was 31. So, like, how do you turn that into a 31-year-old?
Anyway, as always,
which he really wants to be done, not Babylon.
Thank you for listening. Find us at letterbox_book_club on Instagram. From there, our link tree is in the bio, where you'll find us in all the important places. Yeah. Also, thank you all for 1,000 followers on Spotify.
Yeah,
I'm sorry that I'm announcing it on this book, but
it's going to be like 4 weeks away.
Yeah, that's fine. By then, we'll be at 2,000.
Yeah, sure. That's a big goal.
I know.
Yeah, and thanks for listening.
It's only up from here, baby.
Yeah. And I got my books mixed up because next week is going to be Guild.
Yes.
The Plated Prisoner series. Hopefully it does not disappoint.
Yes.
Or at least we can have a good chuckle about
anything's better than this.
At this point.
Yes.
And for any voiceover artists, please contact Kenzie for her voice acting skills. For her sound effects.
Yes.
Alrighty, catch yous next week. Bye-bye. Apologies for a short episode. Like, it is what it is. Alrighty, bye-bye.
Bye.